In this video, we're talking about the importance of grammar in IELTS writing. We're going to look at the types of mistakes that will bring down your score and give you a better awareness of what the IELTS examiner requires from you. My name is Lara Ryan. I've been an IELTS examiner. I've been an IELTS teacher at the British Council. I have been helping students achieve their IELTS scores for over a decade, and I am the founder of Complete Test Success. As always, make sure to click like on the video and subscribe to my page and my channel. The way that grammar is analysed is the exact same for General Training Task 1, Academic Task 1 and Task 2. So what we're going to look at is just 2 sentences from a Task 2 essay to give you an idea of what the examiner is looking for. So let's just take these 2 sentences. Over time, cultures have come to adopt the fashion and lifestyle that these companies are selling and are now more similar as a result. In Korea, for example, you're more likely to see Korean citizens wearing American sports clothes than their own traditional clothing. So those 2 sentences have no mistakes and plenty of range. Now, to get a band 9 for grammar, you would need more range throughout your essay. So let's just call this a band 8 for grammar. Now, assuming that you're aiming for a band 7 overall, and you've already got a 7 for task response, coherence and cohesion, and lexical resource. With these 2 sentences, we're saying that you're getting a band 8 for grammar, and that will give us an overall score of 7. So if you're aiming for a band 7, this is perfect. Next, we're going to start adding some grammar mistakes to this so that we can see how it influences the grammar and the overall writing score. So let's take this comma highlighted here and we'll remove it. So that's a punctuation mistake. How about the word have? We'll change it to has. So that's a subject-verb agreement mistake. We'll take are selling and just make that into is selling. So it's the wrong tense. And then let's take the article and turn it into the wrong one. So what we have here is 1 sentence with grammar mistakes and 1 sentence with no grammar mistakes. And that's what we're looking for throughout our essay to get a band 7. About half the sentences with no grammar mistakes. So that would get us a band 7 for grammar, and then our overall score would be still band 7. So if you're aiming for a band 7 in IELTS writing, it's okay to have mistakes in about half your sentences. But let's see what happens when you have mistakes in more than half your sentences. So like before, we'll add some mistakes to the second sentence. So let's remove the punctuation mark. Let's change the adjective to a noun, and we will change the pronoun to be inaccurate. Now that there are mistakes in more than half the sentences, we're looking at a grammar score of band 6, and this is where it really starts to hurt, because now the average score for task response, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy becomes your overall score of band 6.5. So now you can see that even though everything else has been done appropriately, your grammar score is dragging down your overall score. So far, we've been looking at grammar mistakes that don't affect the meaning. So when the examiner reads this essay, they will still understand all of the points. But what happens when there's a grammar mistake so severe that the examiner cannot understand? So if we were to take this part of the sentence, you're more likely to see, and make a few grammar mistakes like this, you like to see, and it completely changes the meaning and causes a massive amount of confusion for the reader. So at any point throughout your essay, if you make a grammar mistake that causes confusion, you're looking at a grammar score of band 5, and again this will result in an overall score of 6.5. So what we see here is the importance of clarity. Just 1 grammar mistake like this can affect your overall writing score. If you're unsure of the number of mistakes you're making or the types of mistakes you're making, make sure to sign up for my free live feedback lessons, and they're held on Zoom every single week. You can find the link to join those in the video description. So far, we've been looking at the severity and the number of mistakes, but one other mistake that can cause an even lower score is if you try to avoid mistakes completely by just writing simple sentence structures. That would be if you try to avoid mistakes completely by writing sentences like this. Most cultures wear the fashion from advertising. They are more similar now. Koreans wear American sports clothes. They don't wear traditional clothing. So here, even though we don't have a lot of mistakes, This lack of range is going to result in a band 4 for grammar and an overall band score of 6 for IELTS writing. Okay, so again, what we've seen there is the importance of grammar in your IELTS writing, be it task 1 or task 2. And if you think you have an issue with grammar, my advice is to just focus on one area. Don't try to focus on all of grammar at once. So if you have an issue with compound sentences, just focus on that and nothing else. In the comments below, let me know which area of grammar do you think is the most challenging for you.